Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the current Jungle Cup meta. Jungle Cup is going to be currently available and we are trying out Pelipper. Pelipper got buffed this season. Pelipper got buffed actually multiple times again or not. This is like the kind of thing to argue. Pelipper was actually very strong back in the day already at one point, to the point that it was quite commonly seen in the Open Great League. It was not really something that you would be like, okay, who the hell is bringing Pelipper? Right now, it is still kind of in the position where it's like, okay, who the hell is actually bringing Pelipper? And it is kind of back to where it was when it was good though. What we mean with this is, Pelipper was very strong at one point. When Wing Attack got buffed, Wing Attack took over the meta. Pelipper kind of took over the meta. It has Weather Ball. Weather Ball is very strong. And then it received multiple nerfs, with Wing Attack being nerfed down to less energy generation, and Weather Ball being nerfed to having less damage output. And now, in the last 3 years, basically after when this happened, the changes kind of got reverted, and now it's back to what it was before, with a Wing Attack being as strong in generating energy, as well as Weather Ball being back down to what number it was prior, with now I think it's 60 damage per Weather Ball. And yeah, this makes this Pokemon, of course, quite a bit stronger and quite a bit more interesting, and that's why I want to try it out here today. But also, there was power creep, and this is the thing here as well. A lot of Pokemon got back to former glory, but they're not back to former glory. So yeah, power creep was a thing, quite often actually, like generally, like the entire meta itself is getting stronger and stronger. Here, by the way, Rockside Pangoro is apparently a thing in this meta. I remember that I actually made a video towards Rockside Pangoro. I think the last time this cup was around, I think it was like 6 months ago or something like this. It's like the Jungle Cup was like one of those cups that they always just throw in randomly and be like, yeah, have fun playing that. Doesn't make any sense compared like what currently is going on in either the season or just what's going on in Pokemon GO. Here, just have Jungle Cup, have fun, good luck. I don't know. And I guess like maybe because we have the bug type event currently, the bug out event, and it's allowing you to run bug type Pokemon. Don't know. I tried to use Orbeetle, by the way, in this one. I might just give it another try as well. It's bad. It's not that great. Like it's like just generally speaking, like it's not actually Orbeetle's fault. It's just the meta itself is quite tough for Orbeetle to succeed in, because there are quite a lot of Pokemon that are very good against it. And to be fair, I still have to figure out the meta myself. I'm not too happy yet with even this team yet. This team is just generally worked out quite alright. Don't get me wrong. But it could have went so much better if I just feel like I had a team that would be a bit more balanced even. Because what I didn't really expect would be that difficult, especially like in the higher Elo ranges then as well, is that there was actually a lot of Lantern, especially in the lead, and Lantern just kind of core breaks this team with a Water Gun. And this is just something that you have to play around with, and I wasn't really thinking that there would be that many Lantern, but there are a lot of Lanterns. So this is the thing as well. There are a lot of times teams that look really good on paper, but you have to try them out first before you can actually know if they are good or not. So by the way, the fastest battle in history. But Pelipper itself though, Pelipper's cool. Pelipper's really good right now, but it's not as strong as it was back in the day. It is not as strong as it was back in the day. It is still a very strong Pokemon, especially in the meta right now. There are a lot of targets for this Pokemon. There are a lot of ground type Pokemon available, which is kind of nice. And here we're even able to catch the move on to our Dunsparce. It's going to be the Icicle Spear anyway, but then we'll swap on to the Digger Spear. Now I still have my lead left. And again, our lead is actually very good against Digger Spear. Digger Spear is going to generally do only damage that's going to be resisted from our lead, from our Pelipper. And so, like, I'm quite happy on how things have played out here, because I can go ahead and go into my Pelipper after this, and I should be in a very solid position, because even our lead matchup wasn't that bad. And so we can stop into here, we can let the move go through, there's no point of shielding this move up. Fire Punch is coming in, and we see here the Piloswine coming in. I can use a shield, and I should be able to just farm them down and leave here with a ton of energy. So let's do exactly this. We're going to have, 2 Weather Balls stored. In comes the Digger Spear against. There must be weak to our Pelipper in the back. Not too sure. They're going to sacrifice the Digger Spear, and okay, they have Clodsire in the back. Yeah, sorry, poor soul. There is nothing you can do here anymore. We have the Weather Ball spam on our side. We have, so many opportunities to kind of win this battle. We have still a Piloswine. Do they just quit here when they see the Piloswine? That would be ideal, because they lost already. But they don't quit. They are trying their best, even though they absolutely are not succeeding. Even 2 Stone Edges are not going to be enough to knock us out. And it's going to be it for this game. A good game to the opponent. We can move on to the next one. I did release earlier video, by the way, towards Marshadow for the Open Master League. Marshadow got buffed as well, with Shadow Claw being added onto this Pokemon, which is quite interesting. If you haven't seen this one, check it out as well. But, yeah, let's take a look here again at what the Pelipper can do. I actually didn't know that third was allowed in this meta, because it wasn't actually that high up in the ranking. Makes sense that any normal type is allowed in this meta. All normal types are allowed in this meta currently. But here, we see the swap out into the Altaria, which is fine by me. I can use a shield here, I can go for the full farm now with the Piloswine. And yeah, we're going to be in our right position because we have a ton of energy now that we can utilize against the Ferret. And we are gonna utilize it here. So we're gonna be able to go for the Icicle Spear. We're gonna get the shield early on. I can go for the Stone Edge now, which should do a tiny bit more damage. Icicle Spear is actually not the strongest move, but it's very nice pacing-wise, which you kind of want to have here. This is the main reason why you would want to run this move itself. It's just like better pacing. You have otherwise the option to go for Avalanche on this Pokemon, which is way harder hitting. But I didn't expect that they would still get another Swift here, knocking us out. This was definitely going to cost us this battle. Or is it? There's going to be the Togekiss against us. I am going to be able to get up to a lot of energy. I have now the Rock Slide getting shielded. I can just swap out of here. I want to go for the Hurricane because it would force them to throw early. Because I know that they want to avoid, of course, the Hurricane. Weather Ball would have not done enough damage, and I don't think it would have put them into farmland range here either. I can take an Aura Sphere. I can go for the Rock Slide. I can knock them out. And now this is actually not looking that bad, as we are going to be able to get the KO here. They're going to have the Ferret still in the back, and we can just barely win this farm down matchup. Lantern against us here, we're going to be able to just stay in for a little bit, have the Water Gun. I'm going to be able to swap out here now into my Dunsparce, and yeah, this is going to be exactly what I kind of was talking about earlier on. This is just tough. Like, this is just very, very tough. This is not what I really want to see. They are catching the move on the Licky Licky as well. They're catching at the end of the day the harder hitting move here, but it's not what I want to see again either. Yeah, how do we play this? I don't know. They're forced to go for Body Slam here. That's going to be a benefit. So I might be able to just take a hit. Okay, they're going to go for the charge move now. It's fine. I can take a Body Slam and I make a big mistake by stopping out of here. I should have not done that. I should have went for another fast move, keep like the drill run, and then swap out into the Piloswine because I have more fast move pressure, because I have the charge move pressure against the Lantern. I didn't do this, and this is going to be scary because this is going to allow them now to align themselves properly again and get a ton of energy. Double Weather Ball is, I think, the better play compared to going for one Hurricane. I think it does even more damage, so like this was alright. I can go for the Drill Run and they catch on Altaria. This is so devastating because now they're gonna get a ton of energy here. And I didn't really know how to play it out correctly. I decided to go straight for the Icicle Spear because I didn't want to use my shields because I knew that the Lantern has a lot of energy. And maybe Lantern is slow enough that we can just play around with it here. So we gotta use a shield. And that's going to be fine. So if we're coming through, I just have to go for Icicle Spear. I'm just going to go straight forward. I know that they have a ton of energy, and I will need to catch a charge move. If I don't catch the charge move, I'm going to lose this battle. So I know now, okay, they just went for a charge move. I assume they're kind of energy dry. I can kind of, yeah, gauge on how much energy they're still going to need here. I can go for the Icicle Spear, which is going to get the final shield, but I now have to catch the move. And they actually had way more energy than I expected. I would have won for 2 more fast moves here, I think, at this point, because I knew how much they need usually for a serve. But they always kind of kept some energy up there, so well done there. But Lantern lead is just a bit tough. Piloswine, on the other hand, is going to be a very solid lead, because the benefit here as well is you're going to be able to outspeed them after the second Weather Ball. Weather Ball has a very nice pacing on the Pelipper. You get after 5 fast moves to the first one, but you're going to get to the second one after only 4 fast moves, which is going to, yeah, be very good because it's going to allow you to get to those moves so much quicker, so much more reliable, and you can just kind of also trick some opponents with them maybe not knowing this and then thinking, okay, you need still another fast move. No, you don't. You just don't. You just generate energy so fast. It is amazing for that Pokemon. Here, we're going to be able to get rid of that Corviknight early. They're going to go into the Talonflame, which allows me still to go for the Icicle Spear. I hope I get the shield here. This would be ideal, I feel like. And we don't. And so we have Dunsparce. We have super effective fast move pressure here. I can, yeah, decide to go ahead and go for the shield. It's going to be the Fly. And we can try to go for the Funman. It looked like actually that one of the fast move damage didn't go through against the Talonflame. I don't know if this was a bug, but it looked like it at least just now. Maybe I'm just seeing things differently as well. I just only realized that I thought the Talonflame would be already lower. But here, we're going to have Piloswine against our Pelipper. We can still get another Weather Ball. That's going to be perfect for us, as now we're going to get the final shield from the opponent. and we can try our best to get some nice energy as well. I decided to let the first move go. It is going to be the Icicle Spear. We see that we are going to be able to get the KO against the opponent here as well, which is perfect because now I will be able to win the battle. They shouldn't be able to go to another move here after this one, and so we should be kind of fine. So yeah, good game to the opponent. We can move on to the second to last battle of this video. We will have the Cacturne against in the lead. This is going to be generally a very beneficial lead for us because we have super effective fast move pressure. But Cacturne itself is not something you kind of joke about because like this Pokemon has so much fast move pressure that even though we do super effective, we kind of do the same amount. Here, in comes the Tentacruel. We have a very solid answer in our Dunsparce. Dunsparce has a super effective Drill Run, which is going to be very handy for us as we're going to get the debuff immediately. This is actually mattering quite a bit because without the debuff, this Drill Run will do quite a bit more damage, and we will see it here as well when another Drill Run is coming through. I hope they shield, but of course they don't, and they do take so much more. Like they would have gone down here basically if I didn't get the debuff of Scald. It's a 30% chance. It's more unlikely, I guess, but they just kind of throw away the game anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Hi, Golurk. It doesn't matter what you're going to do here. I'm going to be able to just go for the Weather Ball on my Pelipper, and this is going to be a good game as the opponent has nowhere to go really anymore. We're going to have here the Tentacruel, which is going to go down to the Hurricane, and we can move on to the final battle of today's video. We will face off against the Zapdos in lead. This couldn't be worse. Like, this honestly couldn't be worse. I would have thought about straight away. I didn't get done in time. They're going to stay in here. Was a bit too late because I went for an extra fast move with my Pelipper to get to the rock side, which is unfortunate. Of course, I'm going to shield out the move, but they're going to go into the Fortress, which is not too bad for us as we have Drill Run Spam. We should be able to take some hits here as well, and if I get alignment, I'm actually in a very good position because we have our other Pokemon here, because we still have our Piloswine in order to deal with the opponent's Zapdos. And so, like, I'm not really too worried here. I hope they still survive. I hope they still get knocked out here against the opponents. They're going to have the Drill Run coming through. And the answer is we can get the knockout, and we have alignment now. I can just stay in here and hope for the best. I don't get another move. They go for the full farm down. Piloswine is now in against them. They could have Heat Wave, but I do think that if they have Thunderbolt, they have Drill Peck. Usually you don't ever give up on Drill Peck. Drill Peck is so good that you kind of need to keep it. And we are now 2 shields down. We're going to be able to knock out the Zapdos kinda, but they have the third in the back, and now it really depends on the free and how we're going to be able to deal with this Pokemon. I just try to keep some energy here as well for afterwards as well. Here I can go into my Pelipper, but if they can somehow farm me down, the game is over basically immediately. The Swift is coming through. We are going to be able to go for the Weather Ball Water. I was hoping that again we are going to be fine, but as you see, the opponent is going to use a shield. They're going to have their own moves out already as well, knocking us out. And now it's going to be a bit more tougher as we're going to have, the Stone Edge coming in against them. Is this going to be enough? Is this going to be enough? I expected them to actually, just go out and stop out here, but they didn't. And now they're going to survive with exactly 1 HP, and I'm not going to be able to win this battle thanks to that. It is what it is. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like. Not my day today. See you then. Bye-bye.